Obviously, big on spacing. Is that not? Well, it could have been better tonight. Well, the spacing part was a part of it. We missed a ton of open shots, but their ability to come up with 50-50 balls and rebounds and what they did in the paint, it tipped the scale in their favor. There were times where we got stops, we just couldn't come up with the ball, or we tipped the ball back to them and they came up with a 50-50. The spacing part, especially in the second quarter, it did hurt us a little bit. Their blitzes, I didn't think we responded well to the blitzes consistently, I should say. But like I said, without Chris, without Cam, without Aaron, we knew we were going to have a game like this, just trying to figure it out as you go. I thought our guys responded well to the zone. We went 1 through 5 in our switching. And there were times where we got the stop, we just couldn't come up with the ball. And give them credit. They hit tough shots, especially CJ. There were times where we got them into the third option and he was able to put the ball on the ground and hit a tough shot. Or when he missed, they hit a big under the basket to, get his hand on the ball, and they came up with it, and then they scored after that. But, off of a tough back-to-back, playing a team like that with so many athletes, I thought our guys did a really good job of just hanging in there and giving us a chance until midway through the fourth, where it just felt like nothing we tried was going to work tonight. That's a pretty deflating feeling, but I applaud our guys for staying with it. Looking at Willie, you knew that he wouldn't have to stop, so he knows the guy so well. I saw Hayes was out on Booker. Mm-hmm. What thing did you feel like he did because of his knowledge of what he had? You know what? I think we're all pretty knowledgeable of each other's teams, but I thought they did a good job of, just trying to keep the ball in front, and they didn't give up as many threes as, you would have thought. With them blitzing, you think you'd have about 50 threes, but when they started switching, it cut down on the threes. I thought we didn't respond as well to the spacing in that environment. When you have a big on Book like that, you got to get to your extreme corners and lift the guy on the opposite side quickly. I thought we were a bit scrambled. We'll fix that with some film and some walkthroughs. You mentioned the Devin Booker blitzes and that being kind of difficult. Yeah. All on pain and all day. Yeah. Seeing in those cases when they did get the ball out of Book's hands. Just knocking down the shot for the most part. There were times where Book kicked it to the opposite corner. We just couldn't knock that shot down consistently. We shot 30, and conversely, they only shot 26. They just hit more tough twos than we could manufacture. But the spacing out of that was a bit inconsistent tonight. When Book gets blitzed, we typically try to pull those two guys away, and then everybody else has to respond to Book's spacing off of that. We know that teams are going to try to go after him with Chris and all of our guys out. We just have to respond a bit better. On the defensive end, the last game, you guys kind of jump-started the offense. Mm-hmm. Defense and the offense. All the foul calls, that make it difficult to do that again. The foul stuff, man, we got to overcome that. I did think there were some calls that didn't make a lot of sense, but that happens in every game. We gave up a 42-point third quarter. You come out of the third quarter like that, that's a quarter that we've been pretty good in this year, and we gave up 42 points. It's simple. You can't give 30-point quarters are tough enough to overcome. We gave up a 42-point quarter. Now, conversely, we held them to 22, but that 40 kind of sealed our fate. What were you doing in that quarter, or what were they doing? I have to look at the film and really dissect it, but the thing that stood out in the second and third was the 50-50 balls. There were times where the ball was on the ground and they were on the floor. We were on the floor second. That's something that we've been pretty good at, being first to the floor. All of the other stuff, I have to look at the film and make sure I know what I'm talking about. It seemed like getting the ball into the paint wasn't a problem as much for McCallum. It was just a shot out of that. Did you see the similar situation? Yeah. Dribbling decisions were there? Well, I thought the spacing out of that wasn't great. So even when we did get it to the paint, there was a crowd there, and we didn't do a really good job of hitting that next guy. We got to show our guys the opportunities there. And then there was a few, way too many, I felt like, late clock situations with the ball in someone's hand where they just had to make a play. That kept us out of 0.5. Typically, you have Chris and Book that can go make those plays. Tonight, they were taking Book out, and we were stuck with the ball trying to get to the paint, but it was a bit crowded. It's just one of those deals where we have to respond with better spacing so that the paint isn't as crowded.
I remember in year one for you, there were losses where you talked about how excited you were to like go back and look at it.
Yeah.
Without Chris, is that kind of those moments coming again where you're just really excited to?
I think so. I mean, it's a different team for us, so it's a great opportunity for us to learn a different way to play. That's exciting. And then you think about playing a back-to-back right out of All-Star break. That's a tough one, but that's just part of the season. We've won 49 games with 22 to go for a reason, because we've responded to different situations and we've overcome in different situations. We just couldn't manufacture enough tonight to overcome what they did.
Looking at Aiden, I know he likes to kick out. Sometimes in the paint, he doesn't shoot, but he finds the open guy for three. What's the line of him walking to where he's got it going? Okay, find a way to get him the ball, shoot it, pass it. What's that fine line that he walks to try to?
That's a tough one. I think he does a really good job of not playing in a crowd. I think that's our first year. That's where a number of his turnovers came from. Trying to do what everybody wanted him to do and dribbling in a crowd, that can get those guys in trouble. I think he does a really good job of finding guys on the backside. We couldn't make enough shots to, make them pay in that environment. I think his seals are a weapon for us. I didn't think we got it to him enough last night in that environment. I think I've said this before, he plays an unselfish style of basketball. He probably could get his shot off a lot more than he tries, but he's always looking for his teammates. I think that's a good thing.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.